Hey Strong Girl, it's Coach O and welcome back to the Strong Girls movement. For today, we're going to do 26 Strong Girl lessons in honor of my 26th birthday. So I'm turning 26 here in just 2 days on February 22nd. So I figured I would share some Strong Girl life lessons both in and out of the gym for my 26th birthday. So I know 26 sounds like a lot. We're gonna hopefully speed right through these. They're really just supposed to be like one-liner drops of wisdom here. So let's get right into it. The first 12 Strong Girl lessons that I have are lifting techniques, and these are in no particular order. So number one, Strong Girl lesson number one, always start on your weaker side for single side movements. So little explanation on this. It's really normal when you're doing single side movements. So think a reverse lunge or a single arm overhead press or a single arm row. One side is going to be stronger than the other usually, and that's just whether you're right-handed, whether you play a specific sport, so you've kind of grown up always only using one side. We see this a lot in like softball players if they're hitting right-handed and throwing right-handed or pitching right-handed all the time. So when we're in the gym, we don't want to start on our stronger side and overdo it with our weight. So what I mean by that is if I can do a bicep curl with my right arm for 50 pounds, but I can only do 10 pounds on my left arm, I don't want to keep training super heavy on that right side and keep increasing weight and then not be able to match that weight with my left arm. So what we want to do is choose the challenging weight and start on the weaker side on that left side, let's say, and find the weight that's challenging for that left side and then match it with the right side. So if you have just a slight imbalance between your muscles, do that, and then over time, when you continue with your training, it's going to even out over time. If you have a much larger imbalance, let's say due from an injury or from crazy single side sport, you could look into programming more on one side than the other, but always starting on the weaker side. Even myself now, I feel like I'm pretty balanced with my training since I've been lifting for so long. I still start on my left side, which is my non-dominant side, simply because one, I'm like less coordinated and balanced on that side, and really I just want to get it over because it doesn't feel as strong. So that's Strong Girl lesson number one, always start on your weaker side for single side movements. Strong Girl lesson number two, don't stop your set mid-set. This is like my biggest ick in the gym, is when people are doing a set, and let's say it's a set, you're supposed to go up to 10. And you do like the first 5 reps, let's say it's a TRX, or you do the first 5 reps, and you just like sit down, you're like, oh, I just gotta catch my breath, it was getting a little bit hard. You go and you do 3 more reps, take a little rest, and oh, I'll do my last 2, and then you got up to 10. Taking those little breaks, that's not challenging your muscle, that's not working your muscle till failure, that's you giving up halfway through the set before things get hard and limiting yourself and honestly not pushing through any challenge for your body. So do not stop your set mid-set. That is Coach O's biggest ick in the gym. Strong Girl lesson number 3, don't hold your breath while you lift. One, that's just dangerous because we don't want to be passing out when we work out. 2, learning how to breathe when you lift. I have some videos on my Instagram page about this, but learning how to lift, breathing and bracing will allow you to actually lift more weight, feel more confident under heavy weight, and truly move the weight with power and force. So don't hold your breath and learn how to breathe when you lift. Strong Girl lesson number 4. We're on number 4, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool, thanks. Sydney's behind the camera keeping this in line. Strong Girl lesson number 4, when you re-rack the barbell, walk straight forward. What I mean by this is if you have the bar on your back and you walk back into the rack, do not just do one side and then the other, right? Very uneven, unbalanced, we're swinging this barbell around. It's so much easier to just, you can view yourself, you're centered in the rack, just walk straight forward. You'll feel the bar, you'll hit into the top of the J-hooks, and then you just slide down into the hooks. Once you're in there, double check both sides with your head that you're actually in the hooks, and then you're good. But do not do this like 1-1, because after you do that second one, this one might come out of the hook. Dangerous. Just walk straight forward. Strong Girl lesson number 5, warm-ups are more important than you think. And these, I'm talking about warm-ups for strength workouts. They should not be longer than 10 minutes. They're very important to do so that you feel good under the weight, your body is properly prepared for the workout, but they should not be longer than 10 minutes because at that point, we're spending a lot of energy during that warm-up. And that warm-up's really just turning into a cardio workout. So we're gonna keep this under 10 minutes and the Strong Girl style of our warm-up, both for my online programs and how we warm up in the gym. We're gonna start with foam rolling, loosen up, make our bodies feel good. We're gonna do 2 to 4 minutes of really quick cardio. And by this, I mean easy jog, easy bike, do an agility ladder, anything, do some skipping, shuffling, whatever, anything to really just get your heart rate up, get some blood moving, but nothing where you're gonna really feel gassed out. So again, 2 to 4 minutes there, a little bit of dynamic stretching, some mobility work, but again, keep it moving. And then the most important part of the warm-up is jumping and throwing. So our power work, right? So a medicine ball throw or incorporating a jump. And these are low rep, high effort, high intention behind those power movements. But what the power movements do is that they act as a primer. So they really help prime our central nervous system to lift heavy. And if you've never tried doing jumps and throws before your lifts, I want you to try it out because I promise you will feel so much more powerful and forceful under the weight you're lifting, and you really feel like your body is prepared for your lift. So do your warm-ups for your strength workouts, incorporate all those things, but do not make it longer than 10 minutes. Strong Girl lesson number 6, track your workouts. Simple as that. You can only progress in the gym if you can track your progress, and you only know what you're doing in the gym if you track your workouts. So do it on your phone, do it in a training app, or my favorite, pen on paper, but track your workouts. Strong Girl lesson number 7, wear flat shoes when you lift or just lift in your socks. No more Hokas in the gym, no more ons, something flat so you're sturdy under the weight you're lifting. This is both a safety issue, and second, it's going to be something that helps you lift with more confidence and with more strength when you're sturdy with your feet. So wear flat shoes when you lift. Strong Girl lesson number 8, take your rest time for your strength workouts. Minimum, you should be resting 90 seconds between your sets. Average, 2 to 3 minutes, and sometimes you can take 4 to 5 minutes between sets, but take your time. Strength training is not about getting the workout done as fast as possible. It's really about having quality sets that you can push heavy weight with. So take your rest time. We're not doing those crazy cardio circuits. Strong Girl lesson number 9 is warm-up sets. And this is different than the warm-ups we just talked about, but warm-up sets are for your big movements. So back squats, bench press, deadlift, hip thrusts, even some medium movements like a dumbbell overhead press or a dumbbell row, dumbbell bench press, but take some warm-up sets, anywhere from 1 to 3 warm-up sets depending on how heavy you're lifting, so that you're warming up your body to be lifting heavy, because we don't just want to walk in to our first set and just throw 100 pounds on our back and just go for our first back squat. That's gonna lead to injury, very dangerous. So take your warm-up sets, they don't take too long. There we go. Strong Girl lesson number 10, here we go. Hopefully, I feel like we're flying through these, but I also feel like this is gonna be very long.
You're on 10 and it's like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. One Strong Girl lesson per minute. You like how when I explain things, I'm like tapping his head? You're so good. Okay. Oh, this was your lesson that you put in here. Strong Girl lesson number 10 is coming to you, proudly sponsored by Sydney. Don't get mad if you can't go up in weight every week. So I know we get very competitive with ourselves, obviously, in the gym, because we want to be lifting heavier and heavier every single week. But we have to remind ourselves that progress isn't always linear, right? We can't always be progressing like this, because if that was the truth, then at the end of every year, all of us should be back squatting 400 pounds. And as cool as that would be, that's honestly just not the reality. So the longer you're lifting in the gym, it's going to be harder and harder for you to make progress. Or, I'm not going to say that. It's going to take longer and longer for you to make small increments or jumps in weight or do progressive overload. So unlike our beginners who are able to really progress every single week and make that linear progression, as you're a more advanced lifter, it might take 2 to 3 weeks before you can make that increase. But That's not a reason to get mad at yourself. That's not a reason that your program isn't working, but it's just gonna take a little bit longer. But don't get mad at yourself. You're still in the gym, you're working hard. You will continue to make progress. Strong girl lesson number 11. Every movement is a full body movement, meaning from your head all the way down to your toes. Even if you're isolating your biceps, you have to think about every single part of your body for that movement. So let's take that bicep curl, for example. That's actually, I go from the ground up. So feet, where are your feet? Your feet are strong, flat on the ground. Working up through your legs, we have to be externally rotated. Squeeze our quads, squeeze our glutes. So we're strong in the base, right, where we're standing. Tucking our pelvis, squeeze our glutes, engage our core, right? Tighten up your core. Pull your shoulders back, engage your scaps, engage your lats, right? And then keeping our head in a neutral position for the majority of our movements. But there we go. That's toes all the way up to our head. And we haven't even talked about the bicep curl, but we need to make sure our body is the strong structure that we can do our lift from. So now that our body is a strong structure, then we do our bicep curl from there, right? But I also love saying this, is that I do core movements in our workouts. However, they're not the main thing that we're always doing. And sometimes there's not even core movements in my workouts, because if you're approaching every movement like you should be, like it's a full body workout or it's a full body movement, you should be using your core, and your core will be getting stronger even when you're doing bicep curls. Think about your core has to be working when you have a 100-pound bar on your back. If your core wasn't working and you had a 100-pound bar on your back, you would look like the balloon that's outside of the car dealerships flopping around. So your core is working all the time, and every movement is a full body movement. Strong girl lesson number 12, death grip the dumbbells. And what I mean by this is that so many people say, I have weak grip strength, I have weak wrists, right? I can't hold on to the dumbbells. And yes, at a certain point when we're lifting super heavy, we can talk about lifting straps, stuff like that. But what I'm talking about, don't be lazy when you're holding the dumbbells. If you're holding 10-pound dumbbells, make sure you grab it really, really tight. Death grip the dumbbell. You should have a flat, neutral wrist this way, flat knuckles to the sky or the ground or wherever the weight is being held. That is going to, 1, improve your grip strength, and 2, improve your wrist strength. And 3, again, thinking back to that, everything is a full body movement. Tight dumbbell, tension all the way up through your arm and being really strong and intentional, versus just letting those dumbbells kind of flop around in your wrists and not doing anything. I've noticed the girls who are making the most progress in the gym, think about this, and the girls who are stuck with how much they can lift, it's truly, sometimes it has just come down to they aren't holding the dumbbells or barbell or pull-up bar with intention, and they're just here. Soft hands, letting the weight drop into their fingertips. They're not intentional with this. So death grip, everything you hold on to in the gym. And this bonus lesson here, embrace your calluses. Strong girls have calluses, okay? And there's nothing to be ashamed of with your calluses. I feel like there's 2 different girls here when it comes to the callus conversation. The one group of girls who don't want their calluses, and the other group of girls who are running into the gym super excited, and they're like, look, Coach O, I got my first callus, and they're super, super proud of it. And if you feel like your man will not appreciate your calluses, just know that a man who appreciates his woman who has calluses is a man who appreciates a strong woman. So take that for the callus conversation. All right, those were all of the lifting technique strong girl lessons. So now the next topic is healthy habits, and I have 3 strong girl lessons for this. So strong girl lesson number 13 is carbs as a pre-workout snack. Do not be afraid of carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are seriously your best friend when it comes to working out. My favorite, like I mentioned before and all the time, honey and apples right before you work out. Cereal, I just had cereal before this podcast because I'm going to go work out right after I film this. But if you've never had carbs before you work out, try it, because it's truly life-changing. So yeah, carbs as a pre-workout snack, that's going to be the best thing you can ever do. Healthy habit number 14, get off your phone 2 hours before bedtime. You always hear people say 1 hour. That's for softies. We're going for 2 hours before bedtime. I was always the type of person who was like, it doesn't really matter, it's fine. Nighttime is my time to unwind, scroll, catch up on what's going on in the world, whatever. I started getting off my phone 1.5 to 2 hours before I wanted to fall asleep, since the start of 2026. And I'm eating my words because it truly is one of the best healthy habits I have implemented into my life in the past 2 months. And I fall asleep better, I sleep better during the night, and I wake up actually with so much energy. I get so much done during the day. My eyes don't burn and sting. So I know everyone says to do it, but seriously, get off your phone 2 hours before bedtime. Strong Girl lesson number 15, raw dog walks. This has been my new favorite thing for 2026, but the raw dog walk means that you're going for a walk without music, without a podcast, and without a phone call, right? So I take Banjo for a walk almost every single day, and I used to listen to a podcast or music because it's, my time to listen to podcasts. But recently I've been doing it where I don't have anything. Now, I will say this, as a girl, I still bring my phone with me for emergencies, GPS, whatever. That's just the world we live in today. However, I'm not using my phone, I'm not scrolling, I'm not listening to music, I'm not listening to podcasts. I'm also not calling my friends or my mom during this time. I love my friends, I love my mom, I will chat with them another time. But these walks out in nature and just getting fresh air, getting sunshine, spending time with my dog, right? That is just time when my mind really just gets to be free, gets to be clear, gets to just kind of zone out and do nothing. But also I've found that during my raw dog walks is sometimes when I've come up with some of my best ideas, some of my best workouts, and that's sometimes why I do have my phone. I will press a little voice memo if I want to remember what I'm thinking, but truly it kind of resets me for the day and allows me to have an empty mind to think of something. So do some raw dog walks. It's going to be great. All right, those are my healthy habit lessons. Now we're getting into, we have 2 more categories here. We have social media and life. So our next 4 Strong Girl lessons are going to be social media. What number are we on? 16. Strong Girl lesson number 16. Unfollow or block people on Instagram who make you feel worse about yourself. So if you find yourself following girls or anybody and you're constantly comparing yourself to them, comparing your body to them, comparing your routine to them, comparing your life to them, comparing your career to theirs, and it makes you feel worse about yourself, unfollow them, block them, do whatever you need to do, because you don't need that in your life, right? That sounds harsh, but whatever. But that constant comparison will eat away at you every single day and every single time that comes up on your page. So anybody who you follow on social media should be somebody who actually positively impacts and inspires you in your life, and you get value from their content rather than content that you're watching that you're comparing yourself to, or makes you feel worse about yourself, or just has a negative message, or makes you feel negative when you watch the content, even if that content isn't out there intentionally to do that to you. Strong Girl lesson number 16. This kind of goes back to lifting, but I feel like it plays its role on social media, is don't compare how much you can lift to anybody else. You are your own person, you're your own body structure, athletic background, genetics, skill, whatever. And so even if there was another person who was the exact same height and weight as you, you shouldn't compare how much you can lift to them. You definitely shouldn't compare yourself, like I'm 5'2". I shouldn't compare how much I can lift to someone who is 6'2", right? We're different size bodies, and so our bodies are going to be able and be capable of doing different things, and there's no reason to compare how much you can lift to anybody else, because everyone's body is capable of their own things. And again, this comes down to comparison. There's no reason to be comparing what you can do to anybody else. If anything, just compare what you can do against yourself, against last week, and try and be better every single week.
I think you might have said 16 twice.
Oops. Oh, 15, 16. That was Strong Girl lesson number 17. Thanks. Okay, good. That was 17. All right, now we go. Strong Girl lesson number 18, right? Okay. Strong Girl lesson number 18. Don't care what other people say. And don't listen to the hate comments. If anything, hate comments mean you're doing something right. And I've learned that time and time again. But truly, on social media, don't care what anybody has to say. If people are leaving you hate comments, if people are leaving you ugly comments, just understand that this is a person who's in their home behind their screen just spewing out hatred. And like, what are they doing with their time in their life if they have time to sit there and leave you endless amounts of hate comments? It doesn't matter. You don't know that person in real life, hopefully. You're never going to see that person. So why are you taking their opinions and their thoughts, taking it to heart and having it impact your life? So don't care what other people say, and truly never ever listen to the haters. And this bleeds into Strong Girl lesson number 19 is to post whatever you want. Now, obviously, don't post things that are just blanket outwardly offensive or harmful, but at the end of the day, just post whatever you want, right? It's your page, you can do whatever you want, and if you want to post it, just post it, right? Your opinions are valid, your experiences are valid. If you have awesome photos that you want to post, just post it, right? And again, don't care what anyone has to say about what you want to post, because if you post something, you're proud of it, and you just want to share it with the world or share it with other people, and post what you want because that's your life, and doesn't matter what anyone else has to think about that. And a little bonus lesson on top of all of this. Did you see him in the video? He's over this. Bonus lesson on top of this is likes don't matter, view count doesn't matter, the amount of comments you get, the amount of shares, none of that matters. Do not put your self-worth and value behind the numbers that you get on social media, because that will eat away at you, and your identity doesn't lie in social media engagement. All right, now we have our last category. What numbers are we on? That was 15. 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, we have the 20s. 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. All right, we have our last Strong Girl lessons here. This is in our life category. So, Strong Girl lesson number 20. Don't buy the clothes that are trendy if you hate the way they look on you. And I learned this lesson myself the hard way, because I was like, oh, like all these girls are wearing this. This is the trend. I'm gonna buy this to fit in. And like, I didn't love the way it looked on me. I would still wear them, but like, I wore them once or twice, and then I hated wearing them. They were either uncomfortable, the colors looked awful on me, the style looked awful on me, and I just wasted money on clothes that I didn't actually like. So don't buy something just because it's trendy. Buy something that you actually enjoy wearing, even if it's not in style. Strong Girl lesson number 21 is play a sport your entire life. And what I mean by this is, yes, working out is awesome and lifting is super fun, but there's nothing that compares to a sport. So obviously the lifelong sport that I love, and it is a sport that's accessible throughout all ages of life, is tennis. There's a lot of research behind why tennis is one of the best sports to do for longevity in your entire life, because there's the aspect of hit and sprinting, as well as strength, shoulder mobility, and cognitive, like mentally. Tennis is really, really good because you're always having to strategize, but it doesn't have to be tennis. It can be any sport. I know there's some adult field hockey leagues that I've done. There's adult basketball leagues, adult soccer, whatever it is. But sports give you, one, an avenue to move your body differently than how we lift in the gym and how we strength train. But two, it gives you a sense of community, right? You're playing with other people, you're engaging with other people, so that's super fun. And three, it's just something fun to do, right? A fun way to move your body. So play a sport your entire life. Strong Girl lesson number 22. No one's actually thinking about what you said 20 minutes ago. So if you ever feel like you are repeating conversations in your head, or if you remember something that you said last year, I guarantee you nobody else has remembered that. And so sometimes we just need to like let go, stop being so critical of ourselves, and just kind of let that, just let that get out of your head and just like keep moving forward. So stop overthinking things. Strong Girl lesson number 23. Your confidence comes from within, not from anybody else, because external validation is the easiest way to lose yourself. And so if you are placing your confidence, or if your confidence is only coming from other people, giving you compliments about your body, giving you compliments about your life, giving you compliments about your experiences, right? That means you're living your life for other people, not living your life for yourself. Because when you're truly confident in your body, when you're truly confident in your life, when you're truly confident in how you live and your own experiences, you're like self-fulfilled and like happy and confident with everything that you're doing. And you don't need anybody else to tell you, good job, that's amazing, right? So your confidence always comes from within in all of the aspects of life. Strong girl lesson number 24. Self-worth does not lie in the way your body looks. It's very easy to get lost in this fitness world. It's very easy to get lost in social media with, again, like going along with this confidence conversation that we just talked about, but to say I'm only a good gym girl or I'm only a good athlete because my body looks a certain way, right? But your body is honestly the least interesting thing about you, because no one's ever thinking like, oh, like she's a great person because she has abs and big glutes. They're thinking she's a great person because she's kind to other people, she's thoughtful, she treats her friends with kindness and respect, she uplifts other people, she is kind to her family, right? That's what people care about. They don't care about how your body looks. Strong girl lesson number 25 is be confident in your own voice. And this goes back to posting whatever you want, but your opinion matters, your voice matters, your thoughts and opinions are valid because they're yours. And so be confident in that, right? Other people may not agree, that's totally fine. There's 8 billion people in this world. Not everybody's going to agree with you. Not everybody is going to be your friend, and that's okay. We don't need to be friends and to agree with 8 billion people, right? Be confident in your own voice. You will find other people who love your message, love your voice, and want to be around you, and those are the people who are important to have in your life. And speaking of people who are important to have in your life, our last Strong Girl lesson, lesson number 26, is nothing is more important than the people who are in your life. And I want to say people here, and this can mean truly any person who's in your life. That means your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your aunt, uncles, cousins, family, friends, whatever it is, whoever is in your life, no matter whatever situation, nothing else matters in life besides the people who you have in your life, right? And nothing is more important than those people. So obviously we're always putting ourselves first, but put your relationships with other people also on the highest priority list, because nothing is truly more important than that. So with that, that is 26 Strong Girl lessons for my 26th birthday. And yeah, 26 wise lessons from Coach O. So I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, let me know, drop down in the comments below what you kind of think about any of these lessons, if any of these Strong Girl lessons resonated or spoke out to you in any way. And with that, stay strong.